Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 26, 2025, and this is the 50th episode of Bricks and Beyond, a creator showcase series. Tonight also marks the final episode of Season 1. Season 2 will kick off on YouTube in July, so stay tuned for that. For those of you that may be joining for the very first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that highlights members of the LEGO community. Each episode of the series provides a personalized look into the person behind the account. Tonight's guest is joining me from the Beehive State, also known as Utah. She is a LEGO fan, an avid city builder, and a wonderful person within the LEGO community. On Instagram, you'll see her as buildingjaneville, but I'm here to introduce you to her as Christy. Did I say Tuesday? If I said Tuesday, I meant Thursday. Hello, how are you?
I feel like I'm the winner right now. I made it.
Did I say Tuesday?
I don't know if I don't think you did. I might have been like.
Maybe I did. I did say Tuesday. Yeah, I bet you I did say Tuesday. My week. So it's Thursday, June 26th. Yeah. See, I was testing you. I was making sure you were paying attention.
That was today, a lost cause.
Well, then you and I are in the same boat on that one. So how are you doing today? How's your week going?
Doing good. It's almost Friday, so
I know.
I may be like one more day and I can be building in the city. So
yes.
I look forward to the weekend.
So do you usually get to build during the week, or is that usually something that's just on the weekends?
Usually the weekends. I occasionally I'll pull off an evening after work, but here's where I go south on that is I don't want to leave the Lego room, and I do need to get to bed. Yeah. I go to bed early, so it doesn't work well.
I get you. Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one. It's when you start a project, it's hard to kind of detach from it because your mind's just kind of going on it, and you don't want to lose that thought. So
yes,
I hear you. I hear you completely. So Utah, as I mentioned in the introduction, I always like to find these interesting facts out.
Great.
The Beehive State. What is that all about? Are you guys beekeepers or something?
You would think, yeah. You gotta love the Beehive State. A little bit of that. In fact, actually, right here in my neighborhood, we've got a guy who has a lot of beehives. His whole backyard is full of them, and I get honey probably once a year as a Christmas present.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Well, can't beat that then. Yeah, I was just curious because I didn't. I've never ventured out west past. I'd say probably Wisconsin. So there's like a lot of uncharted territory out that way, and I would have never known that you guys were known for your bees, if at all.
Just on another note, we just got an NHL team. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Did they name it yet?
They are now named the Mammoths.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
We're super excited about that. I love hockey.
Yeah. Well, good. I know it's nice. It's nice when you have a variety of different sports too. That way, when one team isn't doing well, then you can move on to the other sport.
That.
So.
Yes, apparently that's the case with maybe I don't want to offend any basketball players, but I don't follow the Jazz. But apparently there's a lot of transitioning to the hockey.
Okay.
So super excited. Yeah. We love it.
Yeah. Well, good. I'll keep an eye because I'm one of those. I'm a casual hockey fan, so I enjoy the playoff hockey. I don't know. I guess some of these seasons are like the sports seasons are so long that sometimes it's hard to follow along.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs are like so intense, so like that's like always the best time to watch it.
Yes.
But all right. So I know you said building comes on the weekend. Do you have any other distractions this weekend, or is this a build weekend?
So I'm hoping I'm going to pull off. Am I the only person? I'm probably not the only person that can do like a 10-hour build day.
Oh no, you're in the right place for that. Yeah.
I'm just looking for 10 hours, so I'm hoping I can pull that off on Sunday, but I'm going to do half a day tomorrow.
Okay.
I haven't built. Really, it's been about a month. I've been traveling and
Okay.
stuff for work, and so I'm so looking forward to this weekend.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. You and I have been chatting for a while, trying to get something scheduled, and you've just been crazy busy. So I appreciate you taking the time to join me tonight because I'm really excited to learn about what's behind you. And I'm sure everybody else is going to be interested in learning about this amazing landscape that we're seeing right now. So we will get into that. But before we do that, I want people to get the chance to kind of get to know you as a person better. So I'm going to ask you to do some thinking here because we're going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
So I apologize if you don't remember. That's fine, but I'm going to test your brain
If
here,
you're
right?
asking me Lego, wow, we're in trouble.
That's
But go
easy.
ahead.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so living in the state of Utah, are you a what do they call you? Utonians,
Utonians,
Utes,
Utahns,
Utonians,
Utahns,
Utah,
Utahns.
Utahns. Okay. So were you born and raised in Utah, or are you from
Yes,
somewhere else?
I'm born and raised here. Yes.
Okay. So where you live now, are you still in the same area that you grew up, or are you in a different part of Utah?
Different part of Utah. So I grew up on what we call the West Side,
Okay.
um, West Side girl,
Okay.
and I've been current in the Holiday area, which is on the East Side,
Okay.
up against the mountain. So I live right on the mountain, which is
Nice.
really amazing and beautiful and close to all the canyons. But I've been here for about 26 years.
Okay.
So
All right. So pretty
yeah,
rooted down.
I'm only 27. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
37.
I,
No,
hey,
no,
I trust whatever you tell me. So,
kidding.
uh, the area that you live in now, like how much? I know you said so. Now you're closer to mountains. So, like, what's the difference from where you grew up compared to like, are there mountains where you grew up, or is that like a different environment?
So it's on the other side, so literally directly on the other side, but I can actually see the other mountain from where I'm
Oh wow.
at.
Okay.
But it's about, I would say, a 30-minute drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yep.
right. So then pretty much, I mean, as far as
Not far.
moving, like nothing big transition, like, yeah. Okay. All right.
No.
So where you're living now, if somebody were to say, "Hey, Christy, I'm coming out your way. I'm going to visit. I want to know something to do." What would you recommend? What would be some of the big special things that you would recommend to people?
So we're known for our skiing,
Okay.
right? Utah has the best
Yep.
snow. Um, all of the national parks are within driving distance, which is amazing. So
That's
you've
nice.
got Zion, you've got Bryce Canyon. We have, as far as the ski resorts, Park
Okay.
City, Brighton, Alta, Snowbird, all right here in the backyard.
Sounds like a picturesque dream almost.
Yes, mountain biking, big for mountain
Okay.
biking. Again, everyone knows about the skiing, hiking. Um, what's great about Utah is you can go up, depending on the day. If it's a really good day, you could go up in winter and ski,
Okay.
and then drive 30 minutes down the canyon and
Oh
golf.
wow.
Yeah, I don't
Nice. Okay.
do either of those. My family would laugh right now.
I
I'm
mean,
not a skier.
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna lie. You were selling me there, so I was thinking I was thinking you were active in either one of those. So
I
good for you. So
I show up with the rest of the family. I do one run, and then I head over to the yurt and grab a drink of wine.
that's
Glass of
perfect.
wine.
Perfect. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you sell what you have there. So I kudos to you for that one. So actually, it also sounds like what you're describing. I've gotten sucked into a lot of these Hallmark movies, like especially the Christmas movies. It sounds like some of those might be filmed out your way, possibly with they're usually in the mountains or stuff
Yes.
like that.
I'm trying to think which one they did out here, but you're right. Yeah, there's a
Okay,
few.
so they actually yeah, interesting. Yeah, I always wondered. It's like the false reality that they give in these movies of like the picture perfect, like everything's perfect type of
Yes.
thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, Christy, I know I told you I'm not a comment person. This guy right here, he is a huge city, Bricks.
Oh,
He is a huge city builder. I knew he was going to show up tonight. He's been one of my close friends since I started, and he's probably itching to get to the city talk. So I'm going to make him wait even longer. So yeah. Okay. So grew up in Utah. Now, any siblings?
Yes, I have all older
Okay.
siblings. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
See, I'm such a liar. I try so hard. No, I'm in the middle. I have two older siblings, my brother Mike and sister Shelly, and then I have
Okay.
my youngest sister,
Okay.
Stacy.
So then, as far as the age gap between you guys, were you all like close enough where you could be close, or were you guys pretty like spread apart?
Yeah, so my brother's 9 years older than me. My sister is, I want to say she's about 6 years. My baby sister, Stacy, and I, we grew up the closest together.
Okay.
Um, I usually when we get when anyone's we're doing introductions, I try to get away with saying she's the older sister, but it just doesn't really work. I'm 55, she's 52, and there you can tell.
Okay. Yeah. Now, do you see like as far as like when you guys were younger? Because I this is like one of the most interesting things I because I don't have any siblings, so I like to live through other people. Do you feel like you're, especially with the older siblings, is there like that feeling of an age gap now that you guys are older, or do you all pretty much just get along and like
Ooh,
mesh
such
well?
great question. I think once you start hitting that 20s and 30s, it just kind of you're all in that same place.
Yep.
We don't feel that age gap. I watched that with my kids. So I have six
Okay.
kids. My youngest is 23. My oldest is 36.
Okay.
And I watched my youngest kind of go through that, um, feeling like she was left
Sure.
out up until she hit her 20s now. And so that's all starting to kind of come together. So that's a good question. I think it really can. If you can stay
Yeah.
close and continue, all of that bonding and relationship building.
Yeah, that's just it's really funny because I've had very few people that have given me a different response. Um, and so it's so funny how you can be so different as kids and like you can all go in your own different ways, but then as you get older, it's like most of the time all that stuff kind of goes away and you just mesh, right together. So
Yeah.
that's good because I
Yeah.
mean it's family and it's nice to have the family depend on them and whatnot. Now, do they all still live close to you, or has any of them moved to different parts of the country?
Yeah. I have a sister in California.
Okay.
She comes out and visits quite a bit. But my brother and my youngest sister are here,
Oh,
and
nice.
we get to spend more. My youngest sister and I spend most of our time together. My brother and I occasionally.
Okay. All right. Now, just random question here. We're not going to get deep in this yet, but what do the siblings think of what's going on behind you?
They celebrate it,
Okay, good.
so which is super cool. It's funny because in the beginning, including my kids, were like, "What is happening to mom? What is going on?" Because I've only been doing this a couple of years. It's not been a long journey for me, a short journey. But now I watch my kids kind of like they kind of brag about it, and when they like come over and visit, they
Yep.
want everybody to see the Lego
Oh, yeah.
room,
Yep.
or they'll share my Instagram
Okay.
account, and so I think finally, for once in my life, they're proud of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Now
You,
they think I might be a little bit cool.
it's funny because when you're telling me this, my mind is thinking how Lego is almost kind of like a sibling. Um, you have that phase where you get along, and then you have that phase where, in Lego terms, you have your dark ages, or in sibling terms, you all are kind of going your own way. But then the older you get, you all just come back together, and then it's just like one big thing. So Lego's just like a sibling to
There you
everybody. It
go.
goes away and comes back. So, but that's good because it's as it's a very therapeutic thing to have. And when you have something so special to you, and then you can share it with your kids or your siblings, it just makes it even more special. So, kudos to them for accepting you for what you do.
I also, I kind of think on a deeper level, I'm modeling that inner child and playing and
Yeah.
creating, and So
Yeah.
they're watching mom do something that she absolutely
Yeah.
loves and is passionate about, and I hope that for them that they embrace that in their own personal
For sure.
passions. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good. I'm glad because it's nice to hear that you can have like a centralized hobby or focus where you guys can share it together because making the memories, that's what I'm learning. It's all about the memories. Um, so I'm curious. You do the city here, and you seem to be very good at selling. So I'm curious what you do for a living because there has to be something that includes all of what you do here. So I'm curious to know
But I
what you're up to in the
do.
day to day.
So I've been in the mortgage industry for 34
Okay. Yep.
years.
Okay.
I'm an executive regional for a local mortgage company that's actually national.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
so I run a region based out of Utah, and I have a couple branches in Washington.
Okay. So that I'd say that fits the bill
So, yes, sales.
for what you
Yes.
do. Yeah. Good. Now, so you mentioned so you have the six kids. Now, remind me again, what's the age difference between them all?
So 23, um,
I promise
30.
they didn't put me up to this to
Yeah,
ask you this. I promise
right.
this.
Right. I could do their birthdays easy. So 23 to 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My oldest is, I have two that are
Okay.
36,
Okay.
not twins. We're a blended
Okay.
family.
Okay.
Um, I've had them since they were 11, so they're mine.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
but yeah, the two oldest, one of mine is 36. The other one is my daughter from my marriage, 36.
Okay.
And then we have a son that's 34, and I have another daughter that is 30. She'll be 30,
Okay.
and then the baby is 23. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it. I love it. Big happy family. That's what I like to hear about. So,
4 grandkids.
nice.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to ask. Are the Duplo sets? Have they made their arrival yet, or are they? What's the age range for them?
So not yet. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, they do. I have some upstairs actually that they play
Okay.
with, but and bringing them down. So they're 3-year-olds.
Oh,
The
nice.
3-year-olds.
Okay.
It's like Godzilla is
Uh,
coming into the Lego room, so I have to be super careful.
yeah. That's one of the hardest things that you have to have a kid understand is like, yes, it's a toy. We get that, but sometimes us adults have to have some playtime too. And so like, we want things a certain way. So I know what you mean. My son's 8 now, so he's more understanding, but he still has his moments where he wants to do stuff, which that's okay. As long as he puts it back. So yeah.
If you wanted to, I get a little anxiety when they come walking in here. I get anxiety when the 35-year-olds walk in here.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, hey, you have some space around the city where if you need to put some plexiglass up and
True.
you can put a lock on the door.
I'll show you the lot. You'll get a kick.
Okay, good. All right, I'm excited for that. So, all right. So, as I mentioned, we're both in the Lego world here, obviously. So, that's how I came across you. So, first and foremost, as far as your Lego journey, any Lego involvement for you as a kid, or is this something that has strictly come to you in your adult life?
Strictly adult. No
Okay.
Lego as a child.
Okay.
Growing up, I envy those. I think I told you this. I envy those that have that, and when I hear the stories where they've still got their Lego from
Yes.
when they were a kid, and the sets, the older sets,
Oh yeah.
I do envy that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Do you remember did you have any cousins growing like similar age cousins growing up?
Yeah, and that's an interesting question. I don't recall Lego being around
Yeah.
in any of our
Okay. Yep.
interactions.
I know, and it's hard to remember too, and it's not something unless you had some memorable collection that it's not something you just kind of sit here and think about and be like, oh yeah, I remember
You
that,
would think you
vault
would
Lego
go.
or
I mean,
something.
that's pretty
Yeah,
profound, but
yeah.
I don't know that we did.
Okay, all right. Well, so then, what would you say as far as like what you did growing up? So as a kid, what were your interests and hobbies when you were younger?
Um, I remember really loving
Okay.
Barbie. I was really into Barbies.
Yep.
I wanted the Barbie dream house more
Oh
than
yeah.
life. Yep. And um,
Did you
that would probably,
get it?
yeah. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
good. Yeah. Because you hear those horror stories too. The
Yeah.
once of the Barbie dream house
Well,
and it never came. So
yep. Yep. I did. It took
now
a
did
while. It was a lot of begging and pleading and
did you keep any of that
no,
stuff? Like I'm
no, I don't have anything.
I know. I'm with you.
Shame.
I I tell you what though, I made a few quick bucks when I sold all my toys that I'd probably make hundreds on now.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then comparing them to today that'd be fascinating, wouldn't it?
Oh, I can't even
Barbie and
imagine what that
Ken.
Barbie dream house is.
Yeah.
All right, so Barbies. What else would you say you were up to?
What else did I do?
Yeah.
Biking.
Okay.
Did a lot of biking. And I'm not a biker today. No.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that would probably be about it.
Okay. All right. I always ask that question because I'm just curious to know, like, did people do things as kids, even if it wasn't Lego? Was it something that could have had some sort of impact on you, like later on, as to why you got into Lego specifically? So, never a right or wrong answer. It's just something my mind is
I'm
always
trying to
curious to
think.
know about.
No, those are good questions. I'm trying to think. No, not I can think of.
See,
Barbie
I
was
don't
my
want
pet.
to, I don't want to give you research time. I just like putting people on the ball to see what they don't
It's
remember.
it's good though, because you don't think. I mean, I don't. I haven't looked back at that, dude, and so that's why I'm so like intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Going, oh, maybe I've kind of just not thought about that.
Yeah, no. That's hey, I just like to ask. So yeah, no worries at all. All right. So then, no Lego growing up. Obviously there was no Dark Ages because they were all a Dark Age because there was no Lego involved.
Yep.
So, what was your starting point? What was the very first Lego exposure that you had?
So I think there probably many of us can probably relate to this. So COVID year, I was working remote, trying to find stuff to do and stay busy. Although it was really busy in the mortgage industry, in case you
I
didn't
was
know
gonna say yeah,
that. None of us really had lives during that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But I got my first set. It was one of the cityscapes,
Okay.
and I built that and just totally fell in love with
Okay.
the ability to like focus on something outside of everything else that was going on and lose all of that for like however long I was there, whether it was an hour or
Sure.
2 hours or whatever. I was not, I didn't know enough about Lego. I had done a few of those builds, and then I kind of paused and didn't do anything
Okay.
until 2022. I want to say I finally purchased the roller coaster. You can
Yep.
see it right.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
and I built that, and oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Mhm.
Love the build. Probably one of my favorite builds. And my daughter's boyfriend at the time sent me a Instagram reel of a city,
Okay.
one of the one, Brixie,
Oh yeah.
his
Yeah.
city,
Yep.
and
Okay.
after that I was done. I was done, and I started buying. Like I am totally going to do that. And at the time, my kids were moved. You know, I had extra rooms,
Okay.
so I had cleaned out one of the rooms and moved all the furniture out of it. Bought all the IKEA tables.
Yes.
Started purchasing my sets, and and it went from there.
It's
And then
yeah. Right.
it expanded to another room. I took out a closet
Oh
wall,
wow.
opened it up.
Wow.
My
Okay.
kids were like, "What is going on? What is mom doing? Has she lost her marbles?" And it filled up that room. And then, so here I am, 2025, and I took out our gym and took down some walls down here and created this room, this
Okay.
space. Just finished this a few months back.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna back up real quick. So
Okay.
the first set you said was which set was it in particular?
The My very first build was a cityscape, and I don't even remember which one it
Was
was.
it one like the one of the like the actual like specific
Yeah.
cities, like one of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so sad. I had them all built, and they were sitting in our office, and my husband remodeled his office and junked them all. I don't even have them. So
Oh,
that's frustrating. I
oh,
know he didn't know what he was
oh.
doing. And then I had taken a pause and hadn't done anything for probably a year or so. And then
Now, is there any type of grudge for that, or did you let that go?
I've been letting it go.
Letting it. Sure.
Because if you look at all the Lego I have, I don't have a lot of room to be. I think he might have a little grudge.
Yeah. Yeah, but in the interest of fairness, how do you know that if he wouldn't have gotten rid of those, maybe you just would have kept it small scale? I mean, maybe this was like to get back at him for that. So, I
Yes,
mean,
I love the validation and the support.
hey, that's I'll give you any support you need. So that's I'm that Lego guy. If you need to tell somebody something, that's fine. Let me know. So, um, okay, so then you built those, took the pause. Um, no, what was the first? I would say what would be the first thing that you actually put in the first iteration of the city?
Um,
Was it the roller coaster or something else?
if you can see the blue
Yes.
skyscraper back there,
Yep.
that would be the first build I put in,
Okay.
and it was off of I think it was Rebrickable.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't I didn't even I mean I had sets, but I was so excited about creating something big and in the city, and
Sure.
that was the first one I did.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into the city, but I'm gonna keep pushing this off as long as I can here because there's a lot to know about that. So I just have a couple other Lego questions before we really dive into the city. So other than the city and anything pertaining to a city, do you have any other sort of Lego collection, like as far as sets or maybe mocks you've built that are non-city related, or are you strictly focused on city building?
Um, I have a few of the Harry Potter
Okay.
builds,
Yep.
which I am so excited to do. I've been trying to come up with how I'm going to incorporate them
Okay.
into the city, or if I'm going to do something above the city.
Oh, nice.
I haven't built any of them yet, but I do have them all. Not all of them. I don't have Green. Is Gringotts Harry
Yeah.
Potter? And I
Yep.
don't know all of it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm learning and I'm watching the shows and
Oh, great. Oh, you'll enjoy those.
yeah,
That's like a rabbit hole too. So,
yeah.
all right. So then Harry Potter, would that be, I guess you can say your favorite line other than the city line as
I
of
would
right
say,
now?
yeah.
Okay. So any interest in any of like the idea sets or like the icons that aren't buildings, some like the vending machine that just came out, anything like that, or is none of that like,
I do have stuff. I do have them. I
okay.
have. I mean, I don't know. I have Pac-Man that I haven't built
Yeah.
yet. I
Okay.
have Mario Kart. So I do have them. I will eventually
Okay.
build them, but I kind of start to get really obsessed with completing areas of the
Right.
city
Sure.
and then having enough time. I'm so jealous of when I see people that are like putting out their builds and I think, gosh, when are they building? How are they
Yeah.
pulling this off?
If you find that secret out, please let me know because I don't have an answer to that either.
That they
So
do such a, I think what it is everyone just builds like wicked fast is what it is. And I take forever to finish a set.
that's possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I only have one child, so between just work and a child, I don't know why I don't have more time. But I don't know other people who have busier lives than me. They're just popping stuff off left and right. So
It's amazing. I have FOMO, so much
yeah, I
FOMO.
I know. That's hard to control. That's a rough topic to control. So, all right, I'm going back. I have your Instagram up here
Okay.
because I wanted to look back here. So you started the Instagram page actually this year. So that
Mhm.
was January 2025. Now you have this massive city that's behind us that did not start here, as you mentioned. But I'm curious. So we have the name Janeville.
Mhm.
So what is the story behind the name of Janeville?
So my full name is Christy Jane,
Okay.
and I kind of reference Jane as my little girl.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And so kind of tapping into her and
Okay.
creating and building and finding time to play. I thought, what a better name than to name her after her.
I love it. Okay, so channeling the inner self. I like that. Okay. All right. So then going all the way back here. So the room that you started in. So it's all been in the same house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the room you started in this is bottom level, correct? Where you are now?
Yep, in the basement.
Okay. Okay. So you started upstairs.
Yes.
And that started in one room, and then you said it expanded into two
Yes.
rooms, correct? Okay. So the first beginning layout, I'm just looking here now. So you had that big square, essentially, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you started the city, can you just give us like a little background of what popped up, like how the whole plan came in your mind to start everything?
Or how I wanted to start it. So, okay, I might not answer this the way you want me to.
No, 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 no.
So when it came to creating the city, I had no plan.
Yeah. Yep.
I did so much research, looked at YouTube channels, looked at social media, learned a lot about that process and how people do these massive
Mhm.
layouts on computer and sketch it and all
Sure.
that stuff.
Sure.
I had none of that, and as you've learned, I'm not really tech savvy, so
That's okay.
that was going to be that wasn't going to be my friend.
Yeah.
So I probably changed the way I was going to do the city and create it at least 50 times.
Oh, wow.
I would do a
Okay.
layout, and then I'd get buildings, and then I'd redo the layout and doing the streets, and it's so much involved
Yeah.
in it. But once I saw that Brixie account, I was just so in awe at what he had created,
Yeah.
and I wanted to do something similar. But then that's always a challenge if you don't have the space to do it. Making sure you have enough
Yeah.
space, or at least. So that's kind of how everything started,
Okay.
and it's been a work in progress ever since. And I think everybody probably has this story. It's changed so
Oh,
many
yeah.
times. The
Yeah.
layout has changed, and then I brought in layers. I brought levels in,
Yep.
which watching other artists, create those and how they did it, and just really learned a lot from our community.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, you can learn the resources that are on Instagram, YouTube. I mean, you can literally learn anything you want, and it's at our fingertips, which is why it's so amazing nowadays. Like, if you want to do something, you have the ability to do it because it's all there for you to research and find out.
I'm so grateful that people take the time
Yeah.
to put out the tutorials, to educate us, to give, to showcase everything.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
grateful.
I agree. So the plan, or let me rephrase. So no plan, but as far as how you were going to start, I see there's, obviously boxes here with the modulars and all that.
Yeah.
So was that the original intent to have a city that was all pure Lego? And by pure Lego, I mean like just Lego sets? Or did you have plans to involve like your own sort of mock buildings and that kind of stuff into the city?
Ever since I started, I hope and aspire to build my own mock, and I've
Yeah.
had thoughts. What would it be? What would it look like? I've not been able to get to that point yet,
Okay.
and I reached out to other people in the community that I admired their work and what they did, and I was so grateful for the feedback.
Sure.
Because I was so new into my journey. And Bevan Bricks, he was so gracious to respond to me, and in the beginning, and he basically gave me the best advice, which I think has helped me out today. And that was just keep building,
Sure.
and you're going to learn the parts. You're going to have a better understanding of how they come together,
Okay.
and doing your mocks will eventually come because you'll have learned so much. And I've done little scapes and things like that, and as I've created little places around the city, but no buildings yet.
Okay.
I hope that I get there
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of backlogs, so I think it'll be a while.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's the one thing that we've actually been talking about this recently is when you build these different Lego sets, um, if you look at them as just building it to follow instructions, you don't get much out of it. But if you actually look at the instructions and like see how a designer put things together, and you really start to be like, oh wow, like I never would have thought to build a wall this way or something like that, you can actually take a lot from the instructions of these sets and you can
Oh yeah.
actually learn from it, which like I said, if you're just mindlessly building, you'll never pick up on that. But it's such a wonderful thing to be able to learn basically from, or not basically, from a Lego designer just by looking at the instructions for these sets. So,
And
um,
and I would imagine, most everybody is obviously familiar with Rebrickable, and
yeah.
I started there pretty early, and purchasing and learning how to get through Bricklink and all of that stuff, and that was a journey of itself. But even those are so helpful because as you're going through their process and their instructions, and then just ordering the parts, you learn so
Oh,
much.
yeah. Yeah. Well, you learn about colors and part numbers and all that kind of stuff too, and how brick links don't match with lego.coms, and then you get all that kind of good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So to have a city, obviously you need to have a massive parts collection because a city takes parts. I mean, if you're gonna just put buildings in it, then you have the sets and that's it. But if you're doing the landscaping around it, the roads, I'm assuming, are you doing Mills plates
Mm-hmm.
for everything? Okay.
Yes.
So you have to have a large parts collection. So how did you come about the collection that you have of parts to really be able to dive in? Because in my opinion, you can't really start a city until you have at least a decent collection of parts to really put those areas
That's
together.
so true. And again, I was so grateful for everyone in the community to just um, obsessing over looking at everyone's accounts to see where what people were doing and
Mhm.
how they were doing it. But I would say my first purchase, because I had the Lego sets, um, I started off of Facebook Marketplace and
Nice.
buying tubs,
Yep.
and that just grew and grew and grew, and then I'm trying to, mostly I would say probably that, and then I order a lot of parts now. I
Yeah.
find that I probably at least once a month I'm ordering
Okay.
a big a big order, and the door's always ringing. My husband, God bless him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said though, he took away those sets that you built. So I mean, it's just
I have to keep reminding him of that. I'm going to use that, Keith. I am so using
hey,
that.
if you need me to just mention that, I'm fine. Like I said, I'm willing to provide support wherever I can. So I get it though. I mean, now does he like build with you at all, or does he enjoy it too? Or
Not
okay,
at all. But
okay,
he is the biggest fan.
okay,
He
good.
he is so supportive. When I said I'm going to take out a wall, he says, "All right, who do I got to call?" When we decided to, when I bought 20 IKEA tables and they showed
Yeah,
up, he helped me
yeah,
put them together.
good.
And then when we did this, he helped me design this room.
Okay.
And yeah, he's a big supporter. Thankfully,
It, it's
every
yeah,
once in a while when a package shows up from Lego, he's like,
yeah.
"Really, really?"
It's it's kind of like a double-edged sword to like want somebody to build with you, but in the same breath, it's kind of like it's nice to have your own hobby and then have that person that appreciates it too, because then it kind of gives you like a little moment of, hey, look what I did, and then even if it's not like even if they don't understand like exactly what you did, they can be like, oh wow, that looks great. So it's like no matter what, it's like nice having either way.
He's always amazed at the details that
Yeah,
are in the
yeah.
builds, and he loves it.
Well, you know what? Is he a good storyteller by any chance?
Um, no,
No. Okay. Because I was gonna say you could build everything, set it all up, and then you could let him like put stories in the city and do that. I
and
mean,
do
I was
that. You know what he'll do, and he gets frustrated because he'll come in and because he builds homes and stuff, and he'll say, "You should do this," with the streets,
Okay.
or maybe you put this up, and I look at him and he goes, you never listen to what I say. You do it your way anyway. I end up doing it the hard way. That's what happens. I do it the
Well,
hard way.
okay. So now I'm understanding why he doesn't get involved, because if he deals with this stuff all day,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing in small scale version. So I don't blame him for that then, because he does enough with it. So all right. So the city, when it was up in the other room, what was and again, this is for people who haven't seen your videos, so we're kind of trying to give them a recap of what you've been
Okay.
doing. Obviously, if people want to go back, they can check out your Instagram page. So it is Building Janeville, so Building Janeville. And then remind me, are you on YouTube as well?
No.
Okay, so strictly Instagram. Okay. So if you guys want to go back and see the city in its original form, you can go over to Christy's Instagram page, check that out, go down to the earlier videos, and you can see the Lego room at that point. So before you transitioned, what was the layout like at that point? So like, can you just describe maybe some of the areas that you had set up in the city at that point?
Yeah. So in one room, so I had two rooms side by side, and I had a wall in the middle that we took out.
Okay.
And so I had my building space in the one side of the room and part of the city behind. But then it went across. I don't know if you can see my hand. It went across to the other room.
Okay.
And that's where the main city was at. And then I had a neighborhood that was in the middle.
Oh, nice.
But so you could walk through both rooms to
Okay.
see both sides of the city. And
Oh,
my
that's really
my
cool.
my vision was I was going to have the city on the one side of the room, the train going through the middle, and then I was going
Okay.
to have the theme park
Oh,
and the beach on the other side. And
okay.
I never got to that part. I hadn't started the beach or the theme park, because then I eventually, came up with my kids came up with the idea, Mom, we really need to have some rooms to stay in when we come visit. And you took away all the bedrooms. So maybe you might want to move the Lego room downstairs.
Fair. That's fair.
so
I mean,
so I moved
yeah.
it, and I didn't finish it to that point. But yeah, it was you would walk through both bedrooms, and it was
Yeah.
tight. It was
Yeah.
super tight. I had so many IKEA tables, and they worked well. Um, they were hard, and if you use them, like
Yeah.
getting them level, and
Uh-huh. Yep.
sometimes it's a challenge. So yeah,
Okay. So then basically, we're just going to say that it was the kids' fault for getting the Lego
yes,
room downstairs. Okay.
yeah,
Perfect. All right.
yeah.
So it was your husband who caused the whole problem in general, and it was the kids who caused putting it downstairs.
Everybody's fault. It's everybody else's
That's
fault.
what I say. It's always everybody's fault. It's never
Yeah.
our fault. So, okay. So obviously, the space that you have down here in the basement is bigger than what you had upstairs, correct?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say it's a little bit bigger, and it's a better layout. When I'm not going in
Yeah.
between rooms and walls. It gave me the openness.
Okay.
I would say the square footage is only maybe a couple 100 feet bigger,
Okay.
not a lot. I don't have a lot of room to grow in
Sure.
here. The tables, I do have a little bit more space to grow on the tables, and I'll show you that when we get to that.
Okay.
But yeah,
In my opinion, I think I'd rather be maxed out first. Like I'd rather plan to the max and then kind of know like what you have to work with overall. Because then like if you don't know the exact space you have left and it's like your mind's wondering like, okay, well, how much more can I do? Or like how far can I push it? Because that's where I started. Like that's where I was like, how far can I push this? And now I'm at the point where I do have a few friends telling me I should get rid of this couch behind me because who needs a couch in a basement? And then I'd have a lot more space. But realistically, I do have a couch for entertainment purposes, so I'm maxed out. Um, but if you still have some room to grow, I guess that is nice. So you can max out your space and then grow it after. Um, but what is your plan? So when you move
yeah.
downstairs, was the plan the same, or did you have to replan everything to kind of adjust to the new space?
I had to replan
Okay,
everything. I had my table custom made.
nice.
Um,
Okay,
and so designing that to try to capture as much space as I could of the room and how big that could be, and then making sure I could access everything. That was a process. I literally came down here and measured out base plates on the floor as I was designing the table. And yeah, so much of a process. But I wanted an office looking space, which I'll show you. I wanted to make sure I had enough room for my build space. So when I come down here, it's like, it's my like dream place to build, which I didn't totally have before.
Sure.
But then I needed enough space for all the extra Lego parts.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that I was going to have enough to go under the tables and outside. And once I got everything moved and in, it's a little tight. It'll probably open up more if I quit buying Lego and I build my backlog. I'll probably open up some more space.
What fun is that? That's not fun.
I don't know. I look at some of these other cities and it's so impressive how much, people fit in their city and their tables, and they look incredible. And I have not mastered that. I think I take up too much space, and I don't know. I'm open to tips and ideas when people take a look at it.
Yeah, it's an art. It's an art for sure. I say the exact same thing. I mean, I would have never guessed you had that issue by looking at like the videos that you put up with what's in your city. So it sounds like you're or it looks like you're on your way to doing what you want to do. You just have to accept it. I think you know what you're doing. So.
And you're probably gonna laugh at me when I show you how much open space I still have on the tables, but
okay, yeah, all right. Well, we're I got one more thing here, and then I'm gonna ask you for the tour here because I'm excited for this. As far as your dream for the city, like what would be your what's the end goal for you in the city building? I know things change, but do you have a dream layout, or is it just something you feel is always going to change?
I think the dream, I don't think you're ever finished.
Yeah.
I think when you think you're finished, I'm learning that you're adding or changing, which is part of all the fun of doing it.
Exactly.
I look forward to having the areas that I have envisioned, which, the theme park. I've got all this stuff to do, lake, cabin, the woods, the beach I'm working on right now.
Nice.
And we'll probably change it to create more space, but I've got it started. And I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I think I'm at that point. But once it's all done, I think I'll probably change it again.
Yeah.
And, bring in new builds and move other stuff around. But I would love to have all those pieces in there.
Oh, yeah.
For the finished result.
It's funny because you've seen the Lego movie, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I think is funny is in the Lego movie, it's so like the city that's in that looks like it's just like it's never going to be touched. Like it's just laid out a certain way, and that's how it is. And for most city builders that I've talked to, that's not how it works. Things are always moving around. And I know that was a movie and yada, yada, but that city just seemed like so put in its place. Whereas what I love about seeing the cities that, we all make is everything does change. And, one day this looks good here, then it looks good over the next place. And that's what's so nice about city building is you can do whatever you want. You can make it however you want. And we're all like our own mindset and our own individual personalities, which makes everybody's cities unique. Yes. And that's what's so enjoyable about seeing them. Yeah. So with that said, I think we have a few people that are probably itching to see
you ready?
What's going on here. So let's just get the grand tour here. Let's see what's going on down here.
So I'm going to kind of hide you for a minute and give you how we open coming into the room.
Okay.
So when we talk about, can I flip the camera? Do I see you turn it?
Yeah. Yep.
So we didn't talk about my Lego wall.
I will save that for last. We will get that to that last. Yep. I was saving that for last. Yep.
So this is entering.
Oh man, this is nice. Look at that. Ooh. Oh man, those
And
walls too. Wow.
hopefully this is the main part, obviously. I just recently had the walls done. My
Now,
daughter did the
is that
walls.
painted?
She painted them, freehand in the
Wow.
clouds.
Holy cow.
And I didn't know it needed it until we did it. And now it's such a
Please,
amazing
please
part.
tell her I applause to her for those. That's incredible.
Yeah, I thought she did an amazing job.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can see, I don't know if I'm,
Yeah. No. No. You're. This is great.
and so this is one of the layers.
Oh.
And then I have this portion of the table where you can see I'm still working on the beach.
Oh. Look at this. Yep.
So my plan is to finish the beach here,
Okay.
have some city behind it. Um, the train comes out of the tunnel, which is not running at the moment,
Okay.
but it'll come out. And then I'll have the neighborhood. We do have, you can see the neighborhood. I've had to move this multiple times because I'm not quite sure where I'm going to place it. And to the point of fitting a lot in the city, I think I went too big on the roads. And so I might condense
Okay.
those a little bit so I have more space.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay.
And then I'll have all of this to build. And
Oh
then this is
man.
my build space.
Oh, this is nice. Yep.
And then you can see my storage.
The parts. Oh yeah, the parts. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, you got some parts going on there. All right, so can we go back down to the main section? I want to go back for a little bit because I'm curious about some details down here.
Okay.
All right, so can you just give us like a little overview of what's going on in each section? And like, is there a reason why you have things laid out the way you have them laid out?
Um, Good question. So I tried to create little blocks.
Okay.
When I in my other city, I just had like the sides of the road, and I loved the look of having the little sections that other people had done,
Yeah,
and
sure.
so I kind of copied that and tried to create little blocks around the
Yep.
city. I think you can kind of see how I've
Yep.
done that. I also wanted to have Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle close by, which I'll be adding the Emporium and some of the others that I have eventually. But
Okay.
to your point, they get moved quite a
Yeah, yeah,
bit,
yeah.
and
Yep.
you start moving. But this one's one of my favorites too,
Oh,
the
I
Lego.
love the Lego store. Yep. Now,
Um,
if I'm not mistaken, is that the rebrickable Avengers Tower base?
yes,
Okay, that's gorgeous. I mean, that just changes that set so much.
yeah, it's incredible.
I might
Let me see
have
if
to
I
look
can
into
get you a
that.
view from here.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing. Yeah, I can't believe like I'm looking at mine in my case right now, and yeah, it looks good, but that base just that's like a game changer.
Yeah. And then this, I created this little food park area and got this design from Bricky Boo. He
Okay.
does a good job, Mark.
Yeah. Mark's a great person. I got to meet him at Brick World.
I'm
Truly honored I got to meet him.
so jealous.
Yeah.
Um, he's helped me a lot. He's been so great, giving me feedback, and he kind of was with me through the journey of moving down here,
Okay.
and so he inspired all of this, and I pretty much watched his YouTube videos to master that look.
All right. Now, question for you. So the raised platforms, do you brick build your platforms or is that wood underneath?
Wood
Okay. Yeah.
with
I
the
mean,
legs.
yeah.
Can you kind of see? Yep.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I as much as it would be nice to just say like everything's brick built, I think it's just more it's just better to do it that
Yeah.
way. Definitely stable, and then you're not using, all the bricks for no reason essentially.
And it's
Um,
pretty part intensive to do that, which
yeah,
I'm
I know.
again impressed for those. I'm going to bring you around the back.
Yeah.
Impressed for those that do that. Here's a little farmer's market.
Oh, this is really cool.
But yeah, I I don't think I had the patience to build it with brick.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So now, in what's in here, like I said before, so mostly would be the modular buildings and then
Yes.
rebrickable, either add-ons or
Ex-
buildings, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now, so that's the main district here. So then moving back down the other way, so that goes into your residential area, correct?
Yeah. So the plan is I'll have the road system come out through here.
Okay.
Um, if everything goes well, I'll do a little bit of city and a boardwalk behind the beach.
Okay.
We'll see if that changes. You can see I finished the construction modular and I haven't placed it yet.
And that's one of my
That was
favorite. Yep.
that was a lot of fun. But then yes, I'll bring the neighborhood over here. So if you look at that, I'm running out of space, Keith.
Yeah.
Like once I finish the
Yeah.
neighborhood and I do a theme park, this is
Yeah.
all parts, but I'm out of space.
You're you're squeezing a little bit there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't think so, but yeah, I mean, it is crazy. Yeah, the space does squeeze. So, are you continuing the upper shelf the rest of the way, or are you going to have like anything slope
I'm
down?
thinking about it. My thought is I'll probably continue it across the back. I do
Okay,
like that look. Um, but I don't know.
I'm not going to
Every
lie.
day it's different.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. You're actually I'm actually glad I talked to you tonight because my city's been sitting dormant here, and now you're starting to spark some interest in my city building here again. So this is good. So the beach area. Do you mind? Can we see the beach area again? Because I'm a sucker for beaches. I always go to the beach every summer, and so that's my thing. So how are you doing your water here? Are you doing all plates, or are you going to do tiles and
Yes.
plates?
So I'm going to do the plates, as you can see. I'm transitioning the colors to go darker as we get out
Yep.
here. I'm still playing with this with the sand. I haven't finalized it. I'm just kind of shaping it now, and then I'll fill it in,
Okay.
and then I'll do the tiles over the top. You can see some of these tiles.
Yep.
And then I need to create more of the sand look and some of the trees. And I've got another build I'll put in there. This, I started this boardwalk. I don't like it.
Okay.
So I'll probably change that this weekend
Oh, okay.
and figure out something else. But I also want to do a couple of the homes on the water. So
Oh,
I'm
for
playing
sure.
with that. There's a good chance
Um,
I'm going to flip this and have the
okay.
beach along this side
Okay.
and have the city back here.
I gotcha. Okay.
So
Um,
again, I'm open to all the ideas.
I, I just like, I don't know. Sometimes like you just get so mesmerized in the city building, and it kind of overwhelms you sometimes when you're really trying to think of like how you want it. Because it is just like so customizable. So for me it's hard to build like when I don't have everything that I want in a certain place. So like if I have things that need built, I can't really like formulate the area until I have everything ready.
Yeah.
But then I just have a whole bunch of stuff sitting everywhere, and then I'm just like overwhelmed with, well, what am I supposed to do with it?
Well,
Um so
and I find that I think I'm creative when I'm down here doing it,
okay.
and that I'll pull something off. But then about 1 a.m., the visions will come of
Oh
what it
yeah.
needs to look like,
Yeah,
and
when you're supposed to be
that's
going to
where I
bed, right?
start. Yep, that's where I start to kind of design how I want things to go, which is why I may turn
Okay.
this and go up along
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Now, do you have the Ferris wheel set by any chance?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Is that an option for the boardwalk area or beach
yes.
boardwalk area? Okay.
I'm kind
Yep.
I'm thinking I may pull that out this weekend
Okay.
and get that one so I can put that in, and I don't know how long it's going to take me. That could take me a month. Have you built it?
No. I actually, so
Did
I
I lose you?
received a few sets that were pre-built. No, can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I received a few sets that were pre-built and taken apart and tossed in a box. So now I have to take them apart, and I want to make sure all the pieces are there, and then I'll rebuild them. But I have the Ferris wheel, and in my city, I have the amusement park that will also kind of transition
Yes.
into the beach area. And
Yeah.
so the Ferris wheel was my idea of like the big transition because, it's like a stereotypical boardwalk. You usually see a Ferris wheel there. So I thought it was a nice transition in between the two.
Yeah.
So speaking of amusement parks, so what is your goal for your amusement park? Are you going to have it? I'm sure you've seen Brixie's amusement park where he has it. I don't want to say roped off, but gated off as an
Yeah.
amusement park. So, do you plan on treating yours like that, or more of like a carnival style amusement park?
Um, I've thought about sectioning it off like that. I do like the levels that he's got within, and he's
Yeah.
got some stuff raised in there with the Disney Castle,
Yep.
which I have that as well. Um, I think that's going to be one of those where I'm going to need to build most of it and
Okay.
then start planning
Yeah.
how it's going to look. Because I love how most of the creators are like creating all of these scenes within the park, and they have all these open areas, and it just requires so much space. And as you can see, running
I
out of a
know.
little bit of space.
Well, I mean, you could go. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
know.
don't.
Big world problems.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. So as far as where you're at right now, so what other areas? I know you mentioned some stuff like you have some stuff for parks or forest areas.
Hmm.
Where would you put that kind of stuff?
I'm probably going to need to put it on this side. So
Okay.
if I create this space with a theme park, I may need to condense the neighborhood, put it over here because I do have other builds that need to that'll be part of the neighborhood. So I might have to put it along the back and then do
Okay.
um, maybe this section right here. I could make the theme park, and then on the back I could do the cabins
Yep.
with the yep, and then still maybe have this side to have um, maybe a little bit more of the neighborhood.
Now
And then
let.
maybe
Go ahead.
big dream, we have a drop ceiling come
Ooh.
with the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I have a very important city question for you here because this is something that I struggle with. Do you treat your minifigures as real people? And what I mean by that is, can you have a roller coaster right behind a house? Because realistically, you're going to keep the people up during the day. So
Oh,
is that a problem for you, or am I just
yes,
nuts? Yeah.
yes. It needs to make sense, and so I'll redo stuff because it doesn't make sense to real life.
Yes. See, and
How are
that's,
they going to get from
yes.
here to here? And then what about
Yeah.
the roads to get there?
Yep. See, I struggle with it constantly because I get a design that I like, and then I'm looking at it and I'm just like, but that's not possible in the real world because this, or this would happen. And then so even though it looks gorgeous, you can't
I
you
can't,
can't do
my
it.
brain
So
doesn't work that way, but I will look at other cities that have done it
yeah,
and I love it and
I
it
know,
looks great.
but it's not yours. So those aren't your people that you're caring about. That's somebody
Mine are
else's.
bougie. They're not going to like it.
That's what I'm saying. It's so funny that how, some people build these amazing things and something that's like important to me might not be to them. And so while it looks amazing in my mind, it's like, well, my minifigures couldn't have that because they wouldn't put up with that. So good for yours, but it wouldn't work for me.
They're
So
going to go to the
I'm
mayor and complain.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I'm not nuts in that aspect. So, um, okay, good. So, city looks absolutely incredible.
thank you.
Um, Again, for anybody who's rewatching this or missed anything, go check out Christy's page. Again, it is Building Janeville, so you can go on her Instagram page. You can check out all of her city from the beginning when she was upstairs to now where she is now down in the basement. Again, city is Janeville, which is a reflection of her as a little girl building with Lego. So, with that, you have one other special place in your house that I'm not going to lie, I would love to have one of these in my house. Um, I'm just going to let you tell the story, where it came from. If we get blurry or grainy here, we apologize. It's just, you know how Wi-Fi works, so we'll do the best to see what's going on here. But here it is. Let's hear about it.
Does it work?
I got you. Yep, there we go. You're in and out and grainy a little bit, but it is a Lego wall. So if you can do the best you can, hopefully I'll pick up most of it.
Okay. So I would imagine most people know who Dante D'Antoni is. He's a famous artist that does Lego. And I was fortunate enough to have him come to my home and create this wall that represents each one of my children. So together we kind of designed what it would look like. He spent a week. We had to tear out this sheetrock, and then as you can see, he recreated it and then put the sheetrock up. So my daughter Erica is a horse trainer in Argentina.
Oh wow!
So this represents Erica. She's my oldest.
Okay.
And for the Batman lovers, my son Colin loves Batman and is obsessed and a gamer. So this
that's awesome.
is how we represented Colin. And then hopefully you can see this. This is everybody in the family.
Oh, wow.
My husband, myself, all my kids, their partners, and our grandchildren.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was a surprise. He surprised me with that, which is beautiful.
That's awesome. Yep.
This is the hockey rink for my son Taylor.
Oh, look at that.
See.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then the beach for my daughter Whitney.
Yep. There's the beach. That's where I'm at.
And then my other daughter Kennedy, who's a skier.
Oh, so wow! Look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
And then my daughter Katie. Skydives. Oh, the little guy.
Wait, was that supposed to happen?
Yep, she's a skydiver.
Oh, look at that! Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Out of the wall.
Wow! Holy cow! Okay. You got the elements of surprise going on there.
So that's the wall representing all the kids.
Wow! Holy cow!
Yeah.
That is impressive. Now, okay, so we got to backtrack here for a minute. All right, so where did that idea come from?
Well, if you've seen his stuff, I didn't know when I built the Lego room and got the room all set up that was the direction I was going to go. It kind of just came out of nowhere, and I had been following him for quite a while. Loved his work, and I reached out to him, thinking there's no way that this is ever going to be a reality, but I'm going to inquire anyway to see what it looks like. And so I knew that I wanted something to come through the entrance. I just didn't know what it was. And then as I talked to him, I shared that I wanted to represent each one of my kids coming into the room. And so I sent him photos of the kids and then each of their passions, and he designed everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then he came. Now, how long did it take him to finish all that?
So it took him, I want to say he was probably 6 to 8 weeks building it on site at his home. And then he ships everything, and then he flies out, and it took him a week to finish. He probably would have had it done. He came in on Monday, he flew out on Saturday, and he worked 2 to 3 of the nights all through the night. Wow. All night long. He pulled all-nighters at least 2 to 3 nights.
Holy cow.
Yes. He's an incredible human. If you don't know him, incredible human.
Yeah, I had seen him from the videos before, and I wanted to hear this story. I didn't want to know much about the situation because I like to learn, with everybody else here. But now I will go check out what he does as well, because I'm very intrigued. Yeah. Now the way that wall is set up, is that something like if you ever chose to like, I know it's a representation of your kids, but like if your kids were one day, like if one of them said, hey, I like this for me, but I want something else. Is that something like, are you able to like get in there and like change things up, or is it like a pretty permanent display?
Permanent. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
And
that's
I could, if we moved, if there was some reason that we moved, which we don't plan on doing, we've been here 26, 7 years. But if we did move, you could bring him back in to take it and bring
okay.
it to wherever you're going to go. But that's pretty involved.
Yeah. Well, that's hopefully if you do move, I guess you'll have to market it for a family of 6 that all have kids
Right.
with the same hobbies
Yeah.
or interests.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So, as far as so you and your Lego journey, and then what you're doing here with the city, have you had the opportunity to go out into the Lego community and attend any conventions or anything to that extent?
I did attend the one here in Salt Lake 2 years ago. I had purchased tickets to one in Colorado, but I ended up not being able to make it. So I have
Okay,
not been to many. I really wanted to do Brick World, but I had a baby shower that weekend and couldn't go.
that's
But
fair. Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, I will tell you this. I think you would get out a lot from Brick World, not only just from seeing what people have, but they also offer a lot of classes. So there was like some studio classes, technique building classes. They had a lot of options. Like I didn't get to join in on any of that kind of stuff because since it was my first year, I just kind of wanted like an open schedule and just
yeah,
kind of not have to worry about being a certain place at a certain time. But for somebody like you who's doing all that, like I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that would be very beneficial, for you to check out. So
that's good to know.
definitely, yeah, definitely mark that on your calendar. It's Father's Day weekend again next year, which I know is always
Yeah.
a hard weekend for some, but it's the same Father's Day weekend next year. So you have about a year to plan. So
I
check that on the calendar and get
love
ready
that
for next year. So
idea of the classes. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just there's endless. I mean, they have stuff going almost like every day of different things you could do, and just getting to meet the people. That was the best part. Getting to meet all the different people,
Yeah.
the people you see on social media, and then like to see them in person. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just all people, and we're all here for the same reason. It was definitely an enjoyable experience. So hopefully you'll get to do that here in the future. Um, but yeah, so moving forward here again, so you'll be working through the weekend, hopefully here, getting to
Yes.
build.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how. So with the social media aspect, how often, like when you do work on something, do you post it every time, or do you kind of like batch things together and post things at a certain time?
I usually will. I try to do some recording of the build, and then I try to do the final, and then I'll do some city stuff. But usually, I try to do something weekly,
Okay.
if not twice a week.
Yep.
But I'm not that consistent. I don't think I've posted in a few weeks,
I know.
other than
Life.
what we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Well, hey, I know life takes over. So, like I said, I know you have been extremely busy. So it's been an honor to have you on here tonight. I'm glad we got to finally work things out. I'm really excited to keep watching your city grow and see what you do with everything. And now I might pester you a bit to kind of get some ideas
I'd love
because
it.
I'm lacking over here. So
I would love it. And
yes,
I'm so grateful that you were able to work with my schedule
for
and
sure.
the patience that you had through that process. Thank you for doing that. And
No, for
I
sure.
am excited to watch what you're doing with your event coming up. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to hearing more about
Yeah, for
that.
sure. I'll actually be posting a couple things here probably by early next week.
Good.
I know we don't kick off till July 20th, but things are starting to roll as with things they start rolling here. So I will definitely keep you in the loop for that. So
Good. Looking forward.
any shout outs to anybody or anything I missed that you want anybody to know about?
No, just big shout out to all the people that I'm able to communicate with that I've gotten to know through the community that stays in tune with what I'm doing, gives me ideas and shares. I'm just so grateful for everybody. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
so love the community. Big thanks to everybody who follow me.
for sure. And again, for anybody who is rewatching or those of you who don't know Christy, again, please go check out her page on Instagram. Building Janeville. You will thoroughly enjoy what she's been doing over the past 6 months now on social media that you've been sharing. And yeah, again, she has everything from the original city, the current city, insights into the wall that we got to see. That is all on her page, so you guys can go check that out. So Christy, I appreciate you and what you do. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been an honor. And I would love to check in with you later this year to see where you've progressed to.
Would love it. Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right. Well, hey, thank you again. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. This will be posted up as a recording as soon as we're done here. Also over on YouTube, probably later tonight or tomorrow. And then I am on a short break until I officially start on YouTube here in July. So stay tuned for that. And then, Christy, you have a good rest of the summer, and I will talk to you later this year.
You do the same. Congratulations on your 50th episode and moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you for being my 50th. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Hey, have a good rest of the week. We'll see you guys. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.